Hello, everybody. Are we live? Please confirm if we are live and my audio video is clear to you. Please confirm in the chat box if we are live and my audio video is clear to you. Please confirm. Please confirm in the chat box. Can you hear me? Can you see me properly? Yeah. So the audio video is clear. That's great. Now, yesterday we started about chapter number 1. So I hope you guys have revised chapter number 1 very, very thoroughly. Unacademy has launched 25% off, and this offer is available till October 28. You can avail the offer by using my code Sukriti. Good evening, Samir. Samir, did you attend yesterday's revision class? Also, you can enroll in Sankalp 2.0 batch, which is for Group 1 and Group 2 students. May 24 onwards, new syllabus. The teachers who are teaching you have 10 plus years of experience and their approach is result oriented. Again, you can use my code Sukriti for 25% discount. If you're giving group 1 for May 24, new syllabus, also, we have a team of teachers who have 10 years plus experience as well as their result oriented approaches there. You can use my code Sukriti to get the discount. In case you want to avail individual subscriptions, again 25% off is there on all the subscriptions starting from rupees 4499. You can use my code Sukriti. Good evening, Manisha. How are you? You can use my code Sukriti and avail the discount. Also, this is a very good initiative which is running these days. It proceeded from 16th of October. There are tests. There will be like total 25 MCQs. In 1 hour, you have to attempt the test. All the subjects are available. You can scan the QR code and you can give the test. Also, if you score well and everything goes good with you, you'll get the Amazon vouchers. There is a complete platform where you can battle and know where you stand and win prizes up to rupees 2 lakhs. You can have one-on-one battle games. Instantly, you can match with an opponent and you can attempt 5 questions from the syllabus. I would suggest बेटा ऑडिट में एमसीक्यू आते हैं ऑडिट के एमसीक्यूज करो आपको पता चलेगा और जो भी क्विकली आंसर करता है वो जीत जाएगा राइट मनीषा डिड यू रिवाइज चैप्टर नंबर 1 yesterday we did chapter number 1 रिवाइज किया है आपने Samir, what about you? Have you revised? Everybody who are watching live, please comment in the chat box if you have attended and revised chapter number 1 because this class will be super beneficial. Very good, Samir. So, beta, agenda of today's class or what we are going to cover in today's classes, we are going to do ICI's illustrations, and ICI's questions. Right? ICS questions. But the approach will be that we'll read the illustrations. I will read the illustration for you, but you will tell me what do you mean or what is the solution. You have to interact in the chat box because in auditing beta, one thing is very important. Beta, this class is for the upcoming exam, November exam and onwards. November and onwards. Okay, Biswajit? November and onwards. Right? So, like I was telling you, that I will read the illustration for you and you will also read with me. And in audit, सबसे बड़ी बात क्या होती है? Knowledge आप सबको है. Everybody, has this knowledge. They know what to write. But how to write is a problem. How to write is a problem. All right. So, illustration पढ़ेंगे हम लोग और आप लोग कमेंट करके चैट में इजीली आई गिव यू सफिशिएंट टाइम मुझे एटलीस्ट ब्रीफ में बताएंगे कि क्या क्या आप आंसर में लिखेंगे एंड इससे हमारा आंसर भी चेक हो जाएगा और हमें डिफिकल्टी भी नहीं आएगी ओके सो इज द illustration number 1 visible to all of you? Is the illustration number 1 visible to all of you? I'll start reading illustration number 1. The auditor of very different limited Explain to the audit team members as to how the audited financial statements of the above mentioned company will help in protecting the financial interests of shareholders of the company. Hi Rajat, I'm good. How are you? And it's good to see you again in the class. Please interact as you have interacted in the previous sessions. So, explain whether audited financial statements of a company would help in protecting the financial interests of the shareholders of the company. ठीक है बेटा, आई हैव रेड द इलस्ट्रेशन. आप लोग एक बार मुझे मॉडल आंसर बताइए. ठीक है, कई कई जगह पे आईसीए ने बहुत अच्छे से आंसर दिए हैं, कहीं कहीं जगह पे अच्छे से आंसर नहीं दिए हैं. मैंने एज इट इज आईसीए के मॉड्यूल से कॉपी पेस्ट किया है ताकि मैं आप लोगों को दिखा सकूं और आप लोगों का विजन जान सकूं. राइट. So for illustration number one, everybody write the answer. I will explain it to you once again. Illustration number one says Very Different Limited gave the audited financial statements. ठीक है? And they said that it helps in protecting the interests of the shareholders, the financial interests. So now you have to tell us whether they help in protecting the financial interests of the company or not. What is your opinion as auditor? Write in the chat box. Take your time and you can write it comfortably. Don't worry. Financial interests of the those persons, employees who aren't directly associated with the management of the entity, such as shareholders. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody else having any different answer? You're right. You're right. Let's wait for others also. Anybody having different answer? बेटा कोई भी नया आंसर है आपके पास या इसके अलावा कोई पॉइंट आपको लगता है कि आप लिख सकते हो तो मुझे बताइए. Great. Moving forward, let's read what I say has given. It's a very appropriate answer. Audited financial statements of a company help in protecting the financial interests of the shareholders. Can you see that it is directly a copy of the statement mentioned in question? Beta, what I'm trying to tell you is relation. You have to relate your answer with the question. It is very important for you to understand what is the demand of the question. आपके लिए बहुत जरूरी है ये जानना कि क्वेश्चन में पूछा क्या है. और जब आप क्वेश्चन से रेफरेंसेस उठाकर आंसर में लिखते हैं ना, तो एज एन एग्जामिनर अगर मेरे को दिन में इतने सारे कॉपीज चेक करने हैं, ठीक है, तो मेरे लिए क्या जरूरी है, मेरे को ये अगर पता लग जाए, सीधा सीधा मुझे दिख जाए कि जो मेरा बच्चा है जिसने आंसर लिखे हैं उसने सीधा क्वेश्चन की ही टर्म्स को कॉपी करा है, तो क्या मैं देख सकती हूँ कि क्वेश्चन को प्रॉपरली अंडरस्टैंड किया है, डिमांड को अंडरस्टैंड किया है. ठीक है जी. ऑफ द शेयर होल्डर्स ऑफ अ कंपनी, शेयर होल्डर्स not directly involved in management, as student channel has told us. Exactly the same keyword. Can you see the keyword? Yesterday also we read this, that shareholders are not directly involved in the management of the company. So, audited financial statements are definitely helpful to the shareholders in understanding what? The true financial position of a company. Important hai, but क्यों important hai? Why they are important? You need to tell them this, right? Because audit is an independent examination of फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स ऑफ एन एंटिटी. क्या बेटा यहाँ पे आप रिलेशन देख पा रहे हो कि एक तो उन्होंने आपको बेनिफिट एक्सप्लेन किया, बेनिफिट के साथ साथ में डेफिनेशन भी एक्सप्लेन करी. तो कैन यू रिलेट द क्वेश्चन विद द आंसर एंड बेनिफिट विद द डेफिनेशन? राइट. 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 इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर वन आप लोगों को क्लियर है बेटा, तो बताओ इलस्ट्रेशन टू पे चलेंगे. इफ इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर वन इज क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू, वी विल प्रोसीड टू इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर टू. जस्ट टेल मी इफ इट्स क्लियर. It's very important for you guys to participate and write the keywords. Very good. Illustration number 2. MNO Limited requested auditor CAP. ठीक है, auditor is Mr. CAP, right, to provide absolute assurance. भैया कुछ भी हो जाए, आपका जो ऑडिट ओपिनियन है वो गलत होना ही नहीं चाहिए. वी नीड एब्सोल्यूट अश्योरेंस. मतलब हमें 2000% श्योरिटी चाहिए. तो सीएपी 2000% श्योरिटी दे दो, एब्सोल्यूट अश्योरेंस दे दो इन रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ इट्स 10 ब्रांचेस scattered in Delhi and confirm that financial statements are free from material misstatement. मतलब बेटा, मतलब एमएनओ चाह रहा है कि पी भगवान बन जाए, अपुन ही भगवान बन जाए. ठीक है, अपुन ही भगवान बन जाए और बता दे हमें कि भैया जो हमारी 10 ब्रांचेस हैं और जो हमारी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स हैं वो फ्री है मिसस्टेटमेंट से, वेदर ड्यू टू फ्रॉड और एरर. अब आप सीएपी को बताओ कि सीएपी भगवान बन सकता है या नहीं बन सकता है. एवरीबॉडी टेल मी, अपुन ही भगवान है, सीएपी भगवान बन सकता है या नहीं बन सकता है. Can he become God and tell you that the financial statements are free from material misstatements and can give you absolute assurance? Can he give you absolute assurance? Yes or no? Yes or no, everybody? Take your time, read the illustration again, try and relate your question with the answer. Question से keywords उठाओ, कल की क्लास को याद करो और आंसर दो. कोई जल्दी नहीं है. You can take as much time as you want. And I want each one of you to participate in the chat box. बेटा बेस्ट बात यही होती है लाइव क्लास की कि आप लोग अच्छे से आंसर्स दें. कम ऑन टेल मी. विश्वजीत, समीर, मनीषा, रजत, कम ऑन. थिंक कामली. सीएपी को एब्सोल्यूट एश्योरेंस देने के लिए बोला है, फ्री फ्रॉम मटेरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट्स देने के लिए बोला है. दे सकता है या नहीं बताओ. हाय अमित, वेलकम. वी वर वेटिंग फॉर यू. As per SA 200, auditor is neither expected to nor is trained to be an expert in identifying material misstatement. He cannot obtain absolute assurance. He can only give reasonable assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatements because of inherent limitations of audit. Very good, very good. Now, one thing, Rajat, you have mentioned about SA 200 and you have to tell what SA 200 means. What does it mean? Come on, everybody. SA 200. 200. What does SA 200 means? Your answer is absolutely, absolutely correct. But the one thing which I'll tell you right now, which you missed, we'll discuss about that, which is related to inherent limitations only, but you have to elaborate. So, beta, SA 200, everybody in the chat box, what does it mean? Meanwhile, we'll start reading. The auditor is not expected to and cannot reduce what? Audit risk to zero. Hi, Smiley. Very good. Objectives. Overall objectives of an independent auditor in conduct of audit in accordance with standards on auditing. See, beta, Rajat, what did you miss? The auditor is not expected to and cannot reduce the what? Audit risk. Audit risk. I asked you yesterday specifically, beta, what is audit risk? Although हम chapter number 3 में पढ़ेंगे, but I asked you what is audit risk. ठीक है, तो वो ऑडिट रिस्क को बेटा जीरो नहीं कर सकता. और उसकी वजह से, क्योंकि वो ऑडिट रिस्क को जीरो नहीं कर सकता, बिकॉज ऑफ दिस ही कैन नॉट ऑब्टेन व्हाट, एब्सोल्यूट अश्योरेंस दैट फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स आर फ्री फ्रॉम material misstatements due to fraud or error. This is because there are inherent limitations of an audit in which most of the audit evidence on which auditors draws his conclusions and bases the opinion are persuasive. This word is very, very important because you can give persuasive opinion rather than conclusive opinion. कल हमने बहुत ज्यादा डिटेल में डिस्कस किया था, ठीक है. In view of the above, CAP cannot provide audit absolute assurance to MNO Limited in respect of its branches. Is illustration number 2 clear बच्चों? illustration number 2 अच्छे से clear होता है आप लोगों को? बताइए. अगर illustration number 2 clear है, then only we'll proceed to illustration number 3. So these keywords which I've highlighted, you have to mention them in your exam. Audit risk, okay. Yes, yes, good, good to see. I want everybody to respond, okay. Right. Now I'm reading illustration number 3 for you. DEF and Company, Chartered Accountants, successfully carried out the audit of Sri Garments, okay, for the financial year 2019 to 20. So DEF ने Sri Garments का audit किया. After the completion of audit, beta see, after the completion of the audit, right, they found material misstatements due to fraud and error in the financial statements which were not noticed and reported by the auditor. So while the audit was conducted, okay, the auditor did not notice the financial statements, therefore he did not report. Management alleges that it is the failure on the part of the auditor. Comment. अब मैनेजमेंट कहती है कि ऑडिट भाई साहब आपकी तरफ से फेलियर है. अब आप कमेंट कीजिए, मुझे बताइए क्या ऑडिटर का फेलियर है? यस और नो, मैनेजमेंट सही कह रही है या मैनेजमेंट गलत कह रही है? एंड बेटा जिनका अटेम्प्ट अभी नवंबर में है, सब्सिक्वेंट इवेंट्स का स्टैंडर्ड्स कौन सा होता है? सब्सिक्वेंट इवेंट्स, कभी नंबर पूछूंगी, कभी स्टैंडर्ड पूछूंगी, नंबर आपको बताना होगा. सब्सिक्वेंट इवेंट्स, व्हाट इज द स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ सब्सिक्वेंट इवेंट्स? पहले इसका आंसर दे दो, सब्सिक्वेंट इवेंट्स का स्टैंडर्ड कौन सा है? वेरी गुड, 560. मेमोरी टेक्निक टू लर्न इट. 5 के बाद सब्सिक्वेंटली क्या आता है बेटा? 6. वेरी गुड अमित, वेरी गुड स्टूडेंट चैनल. 5 के सब्सिक्वेंटली बाद क्या आता है? 6. तो मेमोरी टेक्निक ऐसे 560 डील्स विद सब्सिक्वेंट इवेंट्स. चलिए, दैट्स नॉट द मैटर. वेरी वेरी गुड, दैट वाज जस्ट अ स्पॉन्टेनियस क्वेश्चन. आंसर इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर 3. स्माइली, अमित, स्टूडेंट चैनल, Viswajit, Sameer, Anisha, I want all of you to answer. Come on. So basically, here auditor discovered something related to material misstatements which he could not discover while he was auditing, and therefore he did not report it. But after subsequent, discovery, management is now saying that it is part on the failure of the auditor. Now you have to comment on that. Thank you so much for all the hearts and hundreds. I hope ये 100 में से आप लोग exemption ही score करें. So whosoever is, giving me hearts and hundreds, I wish you the same. Management is incorrect. Very good. The reason, Amit, reason. Why is management incorrect? Not his responsibility. He must only give reasonable assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatement. He is not expected to give his opinion and give his opinion. Okay. So you're trying to say, student channel, that whatever is the situation on the date of writing the auditor report, he is responsible for that. If the auditor has conducted audit as per fundamental. Okay. Now let's see. Beta, there are limitations of an audit. There is an unavoidable risk that some material misstatements may not be detected, even though the audit is properly planned and performed. Both of you have focused on the word responsibility. कि मैनेजमेंट ने कह दिया कि तुम्हारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, तुम्हारी साइड से फेलियर है। तो स्टूडेंट चैनल एंड अमित गुप्ता, आप थोड़ा सा जज्बाती हो गए। ठीक है, आप लोगों ने किस पे फोकस कर दिया ज्यादा, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी पे। ठीक है कि नहीं भैया, ऑडिटर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी कितनी थी कि बस वो देख सके, पर क्यों, वाई वाला पोर्शन आप लैग कर गए। आंसर आपको पता है, यू नो द आंसर, but you didn't mention about the limitations of an audit. And you know that even if the audit is performed as per fundamentals according to essays, because of what? Because of limitations, inherent limitations of an audit. बेटा समझ रहे हो गलती कहाँ होती, आंसर आता है आप लोगों को। Because of inherent limitations of audit, there are always chances of having material misstatements, even when the audit is conducted as per standards. Hello, Muskan Soni. Right? Got it? वेरी गुड। बेटा जब तक वो कीवर्ड नहीं दिखेगा, अब जैसे अमित ने बताया कि स्टैंडर्ड्स के अकॉर्डिंगली परफॉर्म करना है, सब अब दोनों ने सही बताया, सब कुछ सही सही बताया है। ठीक है, बट द थिंग इज you have to mention the keyword limitations of an audit. You have to mention the keyword limitations of an audit, and the financial statements will always have some material misstatements which may not be detected, even though the audit is planned and performed in accordance with essays. Accordingly, beta subsequent discovery of material misstatements of the financial statements resulting from fraud or error does not itself indicate a failure in conduct of the audit. Can you see the question has the same wording? The question has the same wording. You have to just copy paste and relate it, relate it. Maurya sisters and Muskan Soni, I would request you to, just focus in the class and comment as per the questions. All right? Just focus in the class. However, again, he's mentioning inherent limitations of an audit are not just a justification for the auditor to be satisfied with less than persuasive. Now, it does not mean that he'll be satisfied with less than persuasive evidences, right? Whether the auditor has performed the audit in accordance with ethics is determined by the audit procedures performed in these circumstances, sufficiency and appropriateness of audit evidence obtained as a result thereof, and suitability of the auditor's report based on what? Evaluation of the evidence in light of the what? Overall objectives of the auditor. Which standard is this? No problem, Muskan. Please focus in class. It's okay. It's okay. No need to be sorry. Okay? Essay 200. Right? Essay 200. So can I say in this illustration, both of you or anybody else whosoever wants to answer, you have to mention about essay 200. Next, you have to mention about inherent limitations. And since it is talking about reporting, what you have to mention, how do you form your report? On the basis of sufficient and appropriate audit evidences. Then only you can give your audit report. So, do you know? Now, can you understand, beta? कि क्वेश्चन में से भी आपको किस किस पार्ट पे फोकस करना है। सी इन द क्वेश्चन यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन व्हाट थिंग्स, लेट्स जस्ट हाईलाइट, कम ऑन हेल्प मी हाईलाइटिंग। ठीक है, दे हैव कंप्लीटेड आफ्टर कंप्लीशन, सो दे यूज द वर्ड सब्सिक्वेंट, फॉर दिस। ठीक है, दे फाउंड मटेरियल misstatements ड्यू टू fraud. Now they're telling it is due to fraud, but you know that subsequent misstatements can be due to error also. And why they could not be detected? Why they were not noticed? Why they were not noticed? Because of inherent limitations. बेटा क्वेश्चन से ही आपको समझ में आ जाएगा कि कौन से कीवर्ड्स लिखने हैं। आपको क्वेश्चन से ही समझ में आ जाएगा कि कीवर्ड्स कौन से लिखने हैं। ठीक है, एंड रिपोर्टेड एंड हाउ डू यू फॉर्म योर रिपोर्ट, you form your report on the basis of sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, right? Right, beta? Now, are you understanding the keywords in the question? ICA has also given their illustrations in a very systematic manner. Very good, student channel. Now, management says that it's the failure on part of the audit. Then you will tell that no, subsequent discovery or, the misstatements which could not be detected, and not the failure on the part of auditor. I have a question, ma'am. CE या PE? Just Preet Singh, can you please write the full form? PE is like professional ethics or what? Like CE and या PE? Just एक बार बेटा full form लिख दो. So are you clear with illustration number 3? And do you now understand what parts you have to focus on? Because none of you gave the, nearby answer. Student channel and Amit, especially you two. And Jaspreet, you can just tell me the full form, right? Both of you, are you clear? Moving to illustration number 4. Moving to illustration number 4. Mr. G, one of the team members of audit team of Different and Capable Limited, was of the view that the role of computers and data processing in auditing is increasing with each passing day. Explain how data processing in computers helps in conducting audit of a company. So basically, beta topic, which topic is it? Relation of audit with different disciplines. Audit with different disciplines. Now you have to tell, we discussed it yesterday, and you both only, taught me about this topic. So tell me, how does auditing is related to computers and data processing? Take your time, write down things. Just understand the keywords of the question and write the answer accordingly. Amit, Smiley, Viswajit, Sameer, Manisha, student channel, all of you. Try and interact. And बेटा यहाँ पे गलती कर लोगे, that would be much better पेपर में गलती करने से. Take your time. Large volume of transactions are dealt easily and helps with managing a lot of data and significantly reduces the chances of error. Also makes it easier to identify certain misstatements with audit trail in a faster manner. Very good. Very good, student channel. DG, it is for November 23 and onwards. This is going to remain the same in new syllabus also, and in old syllabus also. This chapter is same. And we revised it yesterday. Today we are doing the questions. ICI questions and illustrations. All right. Very right, student channel. And also you've written a very good point that it will reduce the chances of error because it is becoming digitized. Okay, let's read what ICI has given. And beta, in such questions, I would tell you that where you have to explain the relationship between auditing or any other discipline, you can write your own points also. There is no straight jacket, no fixed formula, right? The role of computers and data processing is important while conducting the audit of a particular company because computers are able to save and process large volumes of data. That's why computer came. बेटा आप लोगों को पता है जब कंप्यूटर्स आए थे अर्ली 2000s में बहुत सारे लोगों को चाहे बैंकिंग सेक्टर हो आईटी सेक्टर हो लॉट ऑफ पीपल वर गिवन वीआरएस वॉलंटरी रिटायरमेंट सेटलमेंट ठीक है दे वर आस्क्ड टू रिटायर बिकॉज Computer started doing large volumes of transactions and there was no need of people. ठीक है, बहुत ज़्यादा human cry हो गया था computer के लिए. And at the same time provide data whenever required. You can search and you can get access to data. This way, computers and data processing will be of huge help to the auditor in terms of saving time and efforts while conducting the audit of a company. But at the same time, now you know that there are other benefits also. There are other benefits also of having computers. Like he told that, errors will reduce. Errors will reduce. Can I say it is easy? It is easy to make changes. Paperwork होगा तो सब कुछ change करना होगा. Easy to make changes. Like it comes in save time. It is easy to make changes. ठीक है? ठीक है? Any other point you guys have which you want to add to this answer? Any other point you have which you want to add to this answer? And such questions will not even come in exam. Like that's what I feel, but we are going to do them. Right. Moving forward to illustration number 5. Mr. H. Are you able to see illustration number 5 properly? Yeah. Mr. H is an audit team member of partnership firm of chartered accountants WY and Associates. So he is the member of WY and Associates. H was of the opinion that professional skepticism is required only at planning stage. First of all, everybody tell me what is professional skepticism? What do you mean by professional skepticism? Everybody, everybody tell me. What do you mean by professional skepticism? In the chat box. Come on, friends. Come on, dear learners, tell me what do you mean by professional skepticism? Meanwhile, Unacademy has having 25% off these days. The offer is valid till 28th of October. You can use my discount code Sukriti to enroll into the classes. Right, a small disclaimer till the time you guys are writing. And this discount code and this offer is available whether on individual subscription, group 1 subscription, group 2 subscription, or any other subscription you want to buy from Unacademy. You can use my code Sukriti to see whatever discounts are available. What is meant by professional skepticism? Come on, guys. Just breathe. DG, student channel. Tell me quickly what is meant by professional skepticism. Professional skepticism means having a questioning mind. Having a questioning mind. Right? Having a questioning mind. Very right. Very right. Right. So now he thinks that it is required only at the planning stage. Only at the planning stage of an audit because situations and circumstances which are unusual in nature exist at the beginning of an audit only. Explain whether professional skepticism is only required at the planning stage. Now, what do you think? What do you think? Whether you will have a questioning mind only at the planning stage? Tell me. Attitude of questioning mind, critical assessment of audit evidences, and being alert to the conditions that may indicate possibilities of error. Very, very good. That is meant by professional skepticism. Now, if it is a 4-marker question, how will define your opinion whether Mr. H is right or wrong? Take time. CA aspirant, ma'am, what are the topics from company audit that are in audit but are not there in law? CA aspirant, we can discuss this apart from this class because I will have to give you a total comparison of law and audit both. So here I think it's not that relevant, but we will definitely discuss that. So now, for now, you give me the answer for illustration number 4. For now, you give me answer for illustration number 4. You can answer for illustration number 5. So sorry, as it's a 4-marker, right? It is a 4-marker. It's a 4-marker question. Answer for it, illustration number 5. Take your time, write it properly. CA aspirant, you can contact me. We will discuss it. Don't worry. Because right now I will have to open the contents also, and the class is for the illustrations. I understand. We can discuss it. You can send me you can send me a message and we will discuss it. Don't worry. And what's your real name? Please mention that also so that I'm aware that you have messaged me. And if you are a November 23 student, beta, तो आपको तो मतलब law का syllabus हेतुल, okay. So हेतुल, you should be very well aware what is covered in law and what is covered in audit. But it's okay if you're not aware of it. We will discuss it. Don't worry. Don't worry. I can understand you have exam pressure. Definition of professional skepticism. No PS is required throughout the audit. Very good. Because such situations and circumstances that may exist at all levels. Very, very right. दैट इज वेरी वेरी राइट, वेरी राइट। ठीक है, चलिए रीड करते हैं। आईसीआई ने बहुत ही छोटा सा डेफिनेशन दिया है। प्रोफेशनल skepticism is not only required at planning stage of an audit, rather it is required during the entire process of an audit because situations and circumstances that are unusual in nature exist during the entire process of an audit, right? They have given a very small answer, but you can give the answer like what? The definition, you will include definition, and you will tell that the situations are unusual and they can exist whenever and wherever possible. So he should be alert and he should, be aware of what is going in the organization, right? Is illustration number 5 clear to all of you? Mention yes or no, and then only we'll proceed further with illustration number 6. If illustration number 5 is clear with you. Illustration number 6. Illustration number 6. Okay, moving forward. Very good. Clear. TH and Associates, a partnership firm of chartered accountants, are appointed as auditor of Grateful and Cheerful Limited for the financial year 2020 and 21. TH and Associates को कहाँ अपॉइंट किया बेटा? ग्रेटफुल एंड चीयरफुल लिमिटेड में। बेटा ऑडिटिंग में एग्जेम्पशन तो चाहिए ही चाहिए, ठीक है। चलिए, मिस्टर वाई इज वन ऑफ द मेंबर्स ऑफ द ऑडिट टीम ऑफ TH and Associates. Y is required from the company. Mr. Y required from the company its financial statements and other relevant information for which the audit is to be conducted. For which the audit is to be conducted. State who is responsible for providing such an information to the auditor. Now, yesterday we have discussed this. Are you clear with the illustration? Basically, what is happening? TH and Associates is a partnership firm, chartered accountants that are appointed by the auditors of Grateful and Cheerful Limited for the financial year 2020 to 21. Why is the auditor of the team? ठीक है, and why is required from the financial statements? मतलब why is requiring from the financial statements and other information from the company for the conduct of the audit? Who is responsible for providing such information to the auditor? That is what basically is asked. Now you have to tell me who is responsible. Who is responsible for it? Who will provide the information? Whose responsibility is it? Everybody in the chat box. Management is responsible to provide information such as records, additional information required by the auditor, any person within the entity who has unrestricted access to all such information so that audit can be so that audit can obtain it. Okay, auditor can obtain it, I think you mean. So can I say management or TCWG? Management or TCWG? I want all of you to answer. All of you to answer. Right? Now let's see how ICI has given the answer. Management of a company is responsible for providing the auditor with access to all information such as, what is all information? Such as records, documentation, and other matters. Additional information that the auditor may request from the management for the purpose of audit and unrestricted access to persons within the entity from whom the auditor determines to obtain necessary audit evidence. Necessary audit evidence. ठीक है? तो ऑडिटर को क्या करना होगा? इनसे अपना जो भी अनरिस्ट्रिक्टेड एक्सेस है, रिकॉर्ड्स हैं, डॉक्यूमेंटेशन है, अदर मैटर्स है, वो मैनेजमेंट से रिक्वेस्ट करके लेने होंगे. Is illustration number 6 clear? Basically, it was based on what is the responsibility of management and what is the responsibility of the auditor. Is illustration 6 clear? We can proceed to illustration number 7. We can proceed to illustration number 7 if it's clear. Proceeding to illustration number 7. R and Company, a firm of chartered accountants, have not revised the terms of engagement and obtained confirmation from the client for last 5 years despite changes in business and professional environment. ठीक है? R and Company ने क्या किया? They have not revised the terms of engagement. बेटा with standard. बेटा terms of engagements with standard. Come on everybody, quickly. All of you who are writing the exam, tell me terms of engagement with standard. Terms of engagement with standard. Come on, tell me everybody, terms of engagement with standard. Essay with standard. First answer this, then write the answer for the question. That terms have changed. They did not revise the terms of engagement in last 5 years despite the changes in business. And what do you want to tell? Elucidate the circumstances that may warrant the revision in terms of engagement. Right? Essay 210. Very, very right. 210. And what do you think will be the answer? Take your time and write the answer in the illustration box. In the comment box, sorry. Take your time and write the answer. That 5 years have passed, terms have changed, nature of the business have changed, but they did not revise the terms of engagement. Essay 210, agreeing the terms of audit engagement. Correct. And what should be the answer? What should be the answer? Come on, student channel, CA aspirant, Hetul, TG, Jaspreet, Muskan, Maurya sisters, Amit, Smiley, all of you. All of you try and give the answer. Let's read. As per Essay 210, agreeing to the terms of audit engagement, auditor may decide not to send a new audit engagement, right, letter or other written agreement for each period. However, the factors that may make appropriate to revise the terms of audit engagement or to remind the entity of the existing terms are discussed above. So basically, they didn't answer it properly. So now, everybody in the chat box, tell me what are the factors? What are the factors? Very good, CA aspirant. Oh, sorry, student channel. What are the factors? He has given change in ownership, change in senior management, and regular requirements, size and nature, applicable FRFs. तो बेटा कल हमने देखा था कि आप जैसे जैसे एंटिटी ग्रो कर रही है, एंटिटी एक्सपैंड कर रही है, ठीक है जी, वैसे ही आप भी एक्सपैंड करेंगे. ठीक है, तो आप बताएंगे कि क्या क्या है. अगर चेंज इन ओनरशिप हो गया, सीनियर मैनेजमेंट बदल गई, ठीक है, चेंज इन स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द एंटिटी हो गया, जैसे साइज लिखा है, नेचर लिखा है, एप्लीकेबल एफआरएफ लिखा है, या मैनेजमेंट ने मिसअंडरस्टैंड कर लिया आपके ऑब्जेक्टिव को, स्कोप को, तो ये सारे जो कंडीशंस हैं ये वारंट करते हैं change in the terms of engagement. And since the changes are there in the business and professional environment, since there are changes in business and professional environment, so what will happen? What will happen? What will happen? That he needs to revise as per essay 210. Is illustration number 7 clear to all of you? Is illustration number 7 clear to all of you? We will move to illustration number 8. We will move to illustration number 8. Right? Is it clear to all of you? Correct? Fine. Yes. Moving to illustration number 8. Let us see. Messrs. Suresh Chandra and Company have been appointed as an auditor of SC Limited for the financial year 2014 and 15. C.A. Suresh, one of the partners of Messrs. Suresh Chandra and Company, completed entire routine audit work by 29th May. Okay, unfortunately, on the very next morning, while going to the office of SC Limited to sign the final audit report, he met with a road accident and he passed away. Okay, so the other partner, that is Mr. Chandra of Suresh Chandra and Company, therefore signed the accounts of SC Limited without reviewing the work performed by CA सुरेश. बेटा मैंने आपको एक बात बताना चाहती हूँ. जब मैं भी स्टूडेंट थी तो ये इलस्ट्रेशन एग्जिस्ट करता था और ये पेपर में आ गया था आईसीआई का. ठीक है, और एक मिस्टेक जो मैंने करी थी वो ये थी कि मैंने आईसीआई के मॉड्यूल को इतना इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं दिया था. ठीक है, मैंने ओवरव्यू लिया था, इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं दिया था. और जब मैंने ये क्वेश्चन पढ़ा तो मुझे जो मैंने इंटरप्रेट किया था बेटा उस टाइम पे, वो ऐसे इंटरप्रेट किया कि वर्क ऑफ अदर ऑडिटर यूज करना है. दिस इज यूजिंग द वर्क ऑफ अदर ऑडिटर. बेटा ऐसे बता सकते हो, ऐसे बता सकते हो, यूजिंग द वर्क ऑफ अदर ऑडिटर. कैन यू टेल मी द ऐसे हाउ आई इंटरप्रेटेड? आई एम जस्ट टेलिंग यू, दिस वाज अ मिस्टेक, दिस वाज माय मिस्टेक. I interpreted this question as using the work of another auditor. Can you tell me the essay? Can you tell me the essay? ठीक है, और ये आंसर मेरा गलत हो गया था. अब इन्होंने क्या पूछा है रिक्वायर्ड में? मीनवाइल यू टेल मी द आंसर essay. I will tell the required portion. State with reasons whether C.A. Chandra is right in expressing an opinion on financial statements in the audit of which is performed by another auditor. ठीक है, अब आपने बताना है कि सीए चंद्र ने राइट किया है या रॉन्ग किया है. मैंने इसको ऐसे इंटरप्रेट किया था यूजिंग द वर्क ऑफ अदर ऑडिटर, जबकि ये गलत था. ठीक है, मतलब मेरे हिसाब से जो मैंने आंसर लिख दिया था वो इसी ट्रैजेक्टरी पे लिख दिया था. जैसे मैं जज्बाती हो गई थी. ठीक है, मैं थोड़ा जज्बाती हो गई थी और मैंने बहुत ज्यादा इसी ट्रैजेक्टरी पे लिख दिया और मैंने आगे कुछ फोकस ही नहीं किया. चलिए, now you guys tell me what do you mean by this answer and is CA Chandra right or wrong? In the chat box everybody. SS 600. Okay. And there's a question mark. You're not sure about it? Hmm? Write the answer. There's a huge answer given by ICI. Okay, start reading it. Relying on the work performed by another auditor. ठीक है, आईसीआई ने यहाँ तक बिल्कुल वही सोचा जो मैंने सोचा था. तो बेटा बात क्या शुरू कर दी? देखो, देखना बात क्या शुरू कर दी आईसीआई ने. थोड़ा सा वो फ्लेवर भी दिया थोड़ा सा अलग फ्लेवर भी दिया। मैम क्यों कह रही थी आपकी, आपने जब ऐसे ये वाला क्वेश्चन पढ़ के सोचा कि ये अदर ऑडिटर का इंटरप्रिटेशन है, मतलब एक नॉर्मल स्टूडेंट इतना पढ़ के यही सोचेगा कि सुरेश जी कर रहे थे, सुरेश जी का देहांत हो गया, सुरेश जी चल बसे, तो चंद्रा जी ने कर दिया, एक अदर ऑडिटर का वर्क यूज किया है। बस आईसीएआई ने इतना ही लिखा है। और आगे क्या ट्रैजेक्टरी शुरू कर दी, मैं क्या जज्बाती क्यों हो गई थी मैं वहां पे, और ये मैं क्यों नहीं पकड़ पाई बेटा, देखो। As per SA 220, quality control for an audit of financial statement, engagement partner taking over an audit during the engagement may apply review procedures such as the work has been performed in accordance with professional standards and regulatory and legal requirements. Significant matters have been raised to further consideration. Appropriate consultations have taken place and resulting conclusions have been documented and implemented. तो बेटा क्वालिटी कंट्रोल में क्या बात कर रहे हैं कि जी जब सुरेश जी ने ऑडिट किया तो उन्होंने सब चीज का ध्यान रखा कि रेगुलेटरी रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या है, लीगल रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या है, डॉक्यूमेंट्स वगैरह क्या है। तो देर इज a need to revise NTE of the work performed. The work performed supports the conclusions reached and is appropriately documented. The evidence obtained is sufficient and appropriate to support the auditor's report, and the objective of the engagement procedures have been achieved. तो जो भी ऑब्जेक्टिव्स थे engagement procedure के वो सुरेश जी पूरा कर चुके, ठीक है। Further, one of the basic principles which govern the auditor's professional responsibilities which should be complied with wherever an audit is carried is that when the auditor delegates work to assistants or uses work performed by other auditor and experts, he will continue to be responsible for forming and expressing his opinion on the financial statements, right? He will be responsible. However, he will be entitled to rely on work performed by others, provided he exercises adequate skill and care and is not aware of any reason to believe that he should not have so relied. This is the fundamental principle which is ethically required as per Code of Ethics, right? However, auditor should carefully direct, supervise, and review the work delegated. He shall obtain what he shall obtain reasonable assurance that work performed by other auditors or experts and assistants is adequate for his purpose. So can I say ICI has given SA 220 and work of other auditors SA 600 almost a passing reference. I would not say exactly, but a passing reference, right? 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 Can I say that? And in the given case, all the auditing procedures before the moment of signing of final report has been performed by CA Suresh. However, the report could not be signed by him due to his unfortunate death. Later on, CA Chandra signed the report relying on the work performed by CA Suresh. Here, CA Chandra is allowed to sign the audit report, though he will be responsible for expressing the opinion. Right? Are you understanding what ICI has told? He may rely on the work performed by CS Suresh provided he exercises his skills, due care, and review the work performed by him. Are you guys able to understand it? Yes or no? Tell me. Yes or no, guys? Tell me. Are you able to understand it? आयशा ने बहुत बड़ा सा आंसर दे दिया, बहुत बड़ा सा, ठीक है। Now, very good. Now we are done with illustrations and we will simply do correct or incorrect. And I want all of you to participate. Right, and tell me what do you feel whether the given statement is correct or incorrect with the reasoning. नहीं नहीं नहीं, इतना सारा नहीं लिखना है, यही तो मैं कह रही हूँ कि अगर आप लोगों ने ये क्वेश्चन अभी ना देखा होता तो आप ऐसे 220 के बारे में सोच ही ना पाते, आप ऐसे 220 के बारे में सोच ही ना पाते, है ना। But now that you've seen and you know what they are going to ask, so you can actually mention about SA 220, the passing reference, that he performed all the audit procedures, he obtained all the audit evidences, and then you can tell about using the work of another auditor, and CA Chandra can use the work of other auditor, provided that he uses his skill and he will be responsible for his opinion, right? इतना ही लिखना है आपने। ऐसे ने तो बहुत ज्यादा आंसर दे दिया, जहां देना चाहिए वहां देता नहीं है कई बारी, ठीक है, और जहां नहीं देना चाहिए वहां इतना सारा देता है। बेटा इतना सारा तो याद भी नहीं हो सकता और ना करने की जरूरत है। चलिए करेक्ट इनकरेक्ट पे आते हैं। ओके ओके, नाउ लेट्स मूव फॉरवर्ड टू करेक्ट इनकरेक्ट। सिंपली यू हैव टू टेल मी, एंड इस पे थोड़ा बैक एंड फोर्थ करना पड़ेगा। चलिए फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट, द बेसिक ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ ऑडिट डज नॉट चेंज विद reference to nature, size, or form of an entity. The basic objective. What do you think? The basic objective of an entity changes with its nature, size, or form of an entity or not? They said it does not change. Whether the statement is write C if it is correct, write I if it is incorrect. Okay, student channel is saying it is correct. Others, because of essay 200. Okay, student channel is saying it is correct because of essay 200. What others think? What others think? To give reasonable assurance. Right, right. Let's read. Correct. An audit is an independent examination of financial information of any entity, whether profit oriented or not, and irrespective of its size or legal form. When such an examination is conducted to view an opinion, ठीक है, to view with a view to expressing an opinion thereon. It is clear that the basic objective of auditing, that is expression of an audit. कल बेटा मैंने बताया था ना objective of the audit क्या है? Can you relate? Yes, Ruchi. It is for November 23. Expressing the opinion of financial statement does not change with reference to nature, size, or form of an entity. Very, very right, student channel. Very, very right. Okay, moving forward, second statement. Ruchi, you can participate by telling the correct or incorrect. Second statement. The purpose of an audit is to enhance the degree of confidence of intended users in the financial statements. Is the statement correct or incorrect? With the reason. With the reason, everybody. Come on, write it. Come on, everybody. What do you feel? The statement is correct. Okay. And what is the reason, student channel? What is the reason? We have done a similar question for 4 marker. Right. The statement is correct. And what is the reason? As per essay 200, the overall objectives of an independent auditor and conduct of an audit in accordance with the standards on auditing. The purpose of an audit is to enhance the degree, very, very right, of confidence of intended users in the financial statements. This is achieved by the expression of an opinion by the auditor on whether the financial statements are prepared in all material respects in accordance with an applicable FRF. Very correct. Very correct, student channel. Third statement, read. The auditor is not expected to and cannot reduce the audit risk to zero. Because of what? Because of inherent limitations, and cannot therefore obtain absolute assurance that financial statements are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error. Now tell me this statement is correct or incorrect. Tell me this statement is correct or incorrect, everybody. And mention the reason also. And mention the reason also. This statement is correct. Very right. Very right, because of inherent limitations of an audit. Let's read. As per essay 200, overall objectives of the independent auditor and conduct of an audit in accordance with standard on auditing. The auditor is not expected to and cannot reduce the audit risk to zero. Therefore, he cannot obtain absolute assurance that the financial statements are free from material misstatement due to fraud or error. This is because there are inherent limitations of an audit, which result in most of the audit evidence of the auditor draws conclusion on basis the auditor's opinion being persuasive rather than conclusive. बेटा आपको पता चल रहा है ये लास्ट लाइन इतनी ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है कि they have to be persuasive rather than conclusive, right? They have to be persuasive rather than conclusive. Right, this is very, very important. We saw it in the 4 marker also. Now, this is the question which I asked you yesterday also. The audit engagement letter is sent by the client to the auditor. The audit engagement letter is sent by client. Client भेजता है audit engagement letter auditor को. Tell me, does the client send the audit engagement letter to the auditor? Answer. Come on. No, it is sent by the auditor to the client. Very right. Else, everybody else, you can also give me your answers. It is incorrect. As per essay 210, बेटा essay का reference जरूर देना है. essay का reference जरूर देना है. essay 210, agreeing the terms of audit engagements, the audit engagement letter is sent by the auditor to his client. It is other way around. It is sent by the auditor to the client. Next. Specific disclosure is required of the fundamental accounting assumptions followed in the financial statements. So, beta, is a specific disclosure required? You have to focus here. And what do you think? Specific disclosure is required, or ordinary disclosure can also be given, or the disclosure is necessary? You have to tell me whether the statement is correct or incorrect. No, disclosure is not required. Okay. So student channel feels that there is no requirement of disclosure of the fundamental accounting assumptions which are followed in the preparation of financial statements. What do you think? Irpita, the statement is incorrect. As per AS1, disclosure of accounting policies, specific disclosures of fundamental accounting assumption is required if they are not followed. कब required है? Very good. If they are not followed. If they are followed, बेटा तो देखकर ही समझ आ जाएगा. Auditor will look at the financial statements and understand. Auditor will look at the financial statements and understand, right? And he'll be able to understand. In case they are not followed, then only the auditor needs to, then the management needs to give a disclosure, specific disclosure. Very good. Next. An auditor is considered to lack independence if partner of the audit firm deals with the shares, securities of the audited entity. Right? An auditor is considered to lack independence if partner of the audit firm deals with the shares and securities of the audit entity. You have to tell whether it is correct or incorrect and what kind of threat is it. What kind of threat is it? We did threats yesterday. The last topic was it. You have to tell me what kind of threat is it. Take your time. The statement is correct. And what kind of threat is it? Come on quickly. In explanation, you will have to write the threat. Threat to self-interest. As per section 141, subclause 3, clause D, subclause 3 and D, a person shall not be eligible for appointment as an auditor of a company, namely, a person or his relative partner is holding any security of or interest in the company or its subsidiary or its holding or associate, ठीक है, company or subsidiary of such holding company. बेटा which section you will study this in फाइनल सीए फाइनल में आप ये लोग पढ़ेंगे. ठीक है, सीए फाइनल में आप लोग ये सेक्शन पढ़ेंगे. From above, it can be concluded that if partner deals with the shares and securities of the audited entity, he would be lacking what? Independence, right? He would be lacking independence. Hence, this qualified to be an auditor. Further, Code of Ethics of Accountants prepared by the International Accounts, ठीक है, IFAC, International Federation of Accountants, identifies 5 types of threats, and if partner deals with its shares and securities of the audited firm, then such threats are known as advocacy threats. बेटा सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट थ्रेट्स क्या होते हैं? सेल्फ रिव्यू होता है, राइट? So advocacy threats, that we have read this example also. Student channel, you can see the class again. लास्ट टॉपिक था, बिल्कुल लास्ट से आप लोग देख सकते हो. एडवोकेसी थ्रेट्स में हम लोगों ने किया था ये चीज कि अगर वो लोग शेयर सेल कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, शेयर्स में डील कर रहे हैं, तो ऑब्वियसली उनका जो ओपिनियन है वो कंपनी के शेयर प्राइस को बढ़ाने के लिए ही होगा. दे विल नेवर, या ओके, रियलाइज, they will never give such an opinion which will lead to reduction in the share price, right? Therefore, the auditor will be lacking independence. Moving forward, there are total 10. Now we are on 7th. The audit engagement documentation should ordinarily be retained by the auditor for a minimum of 6 years. Okay. ठीक है, ऑडिट एंगेजमेंट 6 years के लिए रिटेन करना चाहिए उन्हें. From the date of the auditor's report or the date of the group of auditors report, whichever is later. Is this statement correct or incorrect? That they should retain audit evidences, audit engagement documentations actually for 6 years. Whether the statement is correct or incorrect. Incorrect. 7 years. Very good. Very good. And as per which SQC? As per which SQC? SQC 1, right? SQC 1 requires firms to establish policies and procedures for the retention of engagement documentation. Retention period should not be shorter than 7 years from the date of the auditor's report, or if the date of the auditor's group, whichever is later. Whichever is later. So for how many years? As per which SQC? कानून में कहाँ लिखा है बेटा? कानून में लिखा है SQC 1 में 7 years के लिए. Right? Very good. Very good. Clear? Clear? Very good. Now let's read the next correct, incorrect. Yeah. Mr. S, one of the new team members of the auditor of Extremely Effective Limited, was of the view that for the purpose of conducting an audit, only knowledge of direct tax is required. तो S को क्या लगा कि बेटा सिर्फ DT करके डायरेक्ट टैक्स करके आप काम कर सकते हो एक कंपनी में, और आपको कोई नॉलेज नहीं होनी चाहिए इनडायरेक्ट टैक्स की. क्या मिस्टर एस का ओपिनियन सही है? क्या मिस्टर एस का ओपिनियन सही है? यस और नो? यस और नो? क्या मिस्टर एस का ओपिनियन सही है? यस और नो? Can only the knowledge of DT be needed and no knowledge of IDT? Very good, Rahul Soni. No, there should be knowledge of both the DT and IDT and every other aspect. So, the viewpoint of Mr. S is incorrect because of the purpose for conducting an audit. Proper knowledge of both DT as well as IDT is required. Also, other disciplines are also required. Knowledge of other disciplines are also required. And we read that in detail yesterday. Second last correct, incorrect. According to Mr. H, one of the team members of the Auditor of Very Essential Limited was of the view that no relation exists between the accounting auditing from the point of view of the company. तो आपको क्या लगता है कि अकाउंटिंग और ऑडिटिंग में कोई ओपिनियन मतलब कोई रिलेशन होता है? आप we did a flowchart yesterday. We did a flowchart yesterday. एंड जैसे स्टूडेंट चैनल ने बताया कि सब चीज में ही एग्जिस्ट करता है रिलेशनशिप, तो वैसे ही ऑडिटिंग वगैरह में भी कंसिडर करेंगे हम लोग अकाउंटिंग का. आंसर? Incorrect. Very good. Very good. The statement is incorrect. The statement is incorrect. Now let's see. The viewpoint of Mr. H is incorrect because there exists a proper relation between accounting and auditing from the point of view of company. Audit is conducted for financial statements of a company, and those financial statements are prepared with the help of books of accounts of that company. In order to conduct an audit of a company, auditor needs to be aware of accounting policies and accounting principles of that company. Very, very right. Very, very right. Now, last correct, incorrect, beta. The term engagement standards refers standards on auditing only. It refers to standards on auditing only. What do you feel? Engagement standards refers to the terms of standards on auditing only. What do you feel? What do you feel? It is incorrect. And why is it incorrect? And why is it incorrect? Engagement standards refers not only to standard on auditing but also on standards of review engagement SRE, right? Standards on review engagement, standards on assurance engagements, and standards on related services. And standards on related services. Are you guys clear with it? Very good, students channel. Are you guys clear with it? अगर true false correct incorrect clear है तो बेटा we'll proceed to the theoretical questions. We'll proceed to the theoretical questions. Or if you guys are tired, we can continue theoretical questions in the next class. It will happen after, from 10 p.m. I suppose. Yeah, it is from 10 p.m. 10 p.m. again, we have a live class. So do you want to complete it here only or shall we proceed it in the next class? We'll begin with chapter number 2 also. Just tell me if you guys are tired. We can take the another session. As it is, we are going to meet at 10 p.m. So tell me, because you have done enough illustrations and enough correct incorrect, and you have responded marvelously well in the chat box also. Okay, let's start. Explain clearly the meaning of audit. How would you as an auditor perform the audit? So beta, now you have to tell me the definition of audit. I don't think it's that tough. खत्म होने के बाद audit की definition तो आनी चाहिए. I'm really happy to see all those happy hearts and happy emojis. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So what is the definition of audit? You all know. Second question, the independent audit of an entity's financial statement is a vital service to investors, trade payables, and other participants in economic exchange. Explain. Can I say, beta, this question is basically how audit is beneficial to the financial statements. The audit of financial statements is beneficial to the investors, trade payables, and other participants. Tell me. Basically, this question is asking you how is it beneficial? You have seen it in illustration also, right? Right? Let me see. IC has given the answer. Let's read it. Auditing, along with other disciplines such as accounting and law, equips you with very good. Equips you with all the knowledge that is required to enter into auditing as a profession. No business or institution can carry effectively its activities without the help of proper records and accounts. Since transactions take place at different time and numerous persons and entities, the effect of all the transactions have to be recorded and suitably analyzed. As regards the business as a whole, periodical statements of accounts can be drawn up to measure the success of the whole. Periodical statements of the accounts are drawn up to measure the success or failure of the activities in achieving clear or not. Beta, can you hear me properly? Can you hear me properly? There was this error. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Is my audio video clear? Beta, is the audio video clear? Yeah, is it clear now? Yeah, thank you. तो सॉरी देयर वाज़ एन एरर। सो बेसिकली बेटा आयशा ने भर-भर के बातें लिख दी हैं। अब इतना सारा तो हम लोग पढ़ भी नहीं सकते, ठीक है? इतना सारा तो हम लोग पढ़ भी नहीं सकते, याद भी नहीं रख सकते। मैं बस रीड कर रही हूँ और आपके लिए जो इम्पोर्टेंट है वो बाद में बताती हूँ। All this would be possible only if the financial statements are reliable, decisions are based on wrong accounting statements, may prove very harmful or even fatal to business. For example, if the business has really earned a profit, but because of wrong accounting, the accounts show a loss, the proprietor may take a decision to sell the business at a loss, right? He may sell a business at loss. Thus, from the point of view of management itself, authenticity of financial statements is essential. It is therefore essential for those who have invested their money into the business but cannot take part in its management, for example, shareholders. So, beta, what is important for you? Crux. Ki shareholders, investors, they are distant from the management, right? They are distant from the management. वो मैनेजमेंट से दूर हैं। तो मैनेजमेंट से दूर हैं तो डे टू डे अफेयर्स के बारे में नॉलेज नहीं ले सकते। और अगर फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स में कोई भी ऐसे मटीरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट्स हैं, जिनकी वजह से जो ऑडिटर है उसका ओपिनियन गलत हो सकता है। क्या मैं कह रही हूँ ये ऑडिट रिस्क है बेटा? ठीक है? ऑडिट रिस्क, ठीक है? जिसकी वजह से ओपिनियन गलत हो सकता है। क्या क्या ऑडिटर के लिए एक तरीके से ये चीज़ डिफिकल्ट होगी? इसलिए ऑडिटर को इंश्योर करना है कि फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स जो हैं वो फ्री ऑफ मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट हो, ताकि प्रॉपर ऑडिट ओपिनियन हो और इन्वेस्टर्स और शेयर होल्डर्स क्या कर सके बेटा? अपना डिसीजन मेंटेन कर सके। So it is important for other economic participants also. Basically, you have to tell that they are distant, and that's why it is important for them to have that opinion. Right or wrong, beta? Right or wrong? Okay. Now, third question is very simple. State the objectives of audit in accordance with essay 200. We have done a flowchart for it. Flowchart से हमने किया था। क्या करना है ऑडिटर को? सबसे पहला ऑब्जेक्टिव बेटा रीजनेबल अश्योरेंस। सेकंड, थर्ड, फोर्थ ऑब्जेक्टिव आप लोग मुझे बताइए चैट बॉक्स में। Just tell me in the chat box. What are the objectives of the auditor? Straight away we have covered this. Come on. Reasonable assurance is the first objective. Very right. Second, third, fourth. He will see whether financial statements are free from material misstatement due to fraud and error. Then what he will do? Third step, when he checks, he will do the reporting. And what is the fourth step? He will ensure that standards are followed. Right? Right or wrong? Are these the objectives? And you will maintain a flowchart. You will write a flowchart also. Come on, quickly. Write all the objectives. Question number 4. Very good. Question number 4. What does it say? Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants prepared by the International Federation of Accountants identifies 5 types of threats. Quickly explain. Now, quickly tell me the name of 5 threats. And you guys know it in detail. Advocacy threat we have seen today also. Come on, quickly tell me the name of 5 threats. Quickly name the 5 threats, everybody, in the chat box. Quickly tell me the name of 5 threats. Everybody in the chat box. Very good. Very good. Straight away question. Self-review, interest, advocacy, familiarity, and intimidation. And intimidation threats. Very good. Self-review, familiarity, ठीक है जी. Self-interest, right? Right. Advocacy and intimidation. Very good. Right. Question number 5. There are practical and legal limitations on the auditor's ability. What? Practical, legal, and practical limitations, right? To obtain audit evidence, explain with examples. बेटा, this part is very important. कल मैंने आपको examples भी करवाए थे, बताया भी था. Explain with examples. And what is it indicating to? ये किसकी तरफ इशारा कर रहा है? इशारे किसकी तरफ हो रहे हैं बेटा? इशारे किसकी तरफ हो रहे हैं? मुझे बताओ. प्रैक्टिकल और लीगल लिमिटेशंस है ऑडिटर की एबिलिटी के. ठीक है. तो अब आप लोग बताओ कि इसके प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल्स क्या हैं, इसके एग्जांपल्स क्या हैं और किसकी तरफ इशारा हो रहा है, किसकी तरफ इशारा हो रहा है बेटा? क्विकली एवरीबॉडी. देन वी रीड द आंसर गिवन बाय आईसीआई. हमने कल बहुत डिटेल में देखा था ये, एंड आई थिंक कि ये वाला क्वेश्चन पेपर में आ सकता है. तो एक बार ब्रीफ में टेक योर टाइम, टेक 2 minutes, राइट द आंसर इन द चैट बॉक्स. Come on, take your time and write the answer in the chat box. Beta, is the audio video clear? Just confirm me once if it is clear. Not very sure that it's clear or not. Just tell me if the audio video is clear to all of you. Yeah, it's clear. Thank you. So, the nature of audit procedures. There are practical and legal limitations on the auditor's ability to obtain audit evidence. For example, there is a possibility that management and others may not provide the required information either intentionally or unintentionally. ठीक है? Then there might be fraud, which involves sophistication of crimes. Audit is not an official investigation, and auditor is not given the powers such as investigation and everything. So now you know that it is talking about the inherent limitations. और बेटा एग्जाम्पल्स की बात की है और ऑडिटर ने खुद ही एग्जाम्पल नहीं दिए, आईसीआई ने खुद ही एग्जाम्पल्स नहीं दिए. तो बेटा कैन यू क्यूरेट दी एग्जाम्पल्स? हम लोगों ने कल क्लास में डिस्कस भी किए थे एग्जाम्पल्स. एग्जाम्पल्स हमने डिस्कस भी किए थे. ठीक है, एग्जाम्पल्स आप लोग लिख सकते हो. क्वेश्चन नंबर 6. In case of certain subject matters, limitation on auditor's ability to detect material misstatements are particularly significant. Explain such assertions or subject matters. So, beta, what do you have to do? What do you have to do? You have to tell me the certain subject matters on which limitations on the auditor's ability to detect misstatements are particularly significant. And you have to explain such assertions or subject matters. You have to tell me all of this. Come on, try the answer. Otherwise, I'll read it for you. And this time, this is the last question. Next, we'll meet at 10 p.m. and we'll start with question number 7. Okay, 3 questions we will discuss in the start, and then we'll brush up with chapter number 2 revision. Fraud, non-compliance with legal requirements. Okay, good. We discussed about the future events and conditions which can question the going concern ability. Okay, related party transactions. Which standard, beta? Which standard? Fraud, particularly involving senior management. Because if senior management is there, then it will be very difficult for the auditor to, rediscover or conceal that there is a fraud. Future conditions, very good. The existence and completeness of related party relationships, beta. Which essay? Occurrence of non-compliance with laws and regulations, right? And future events and conditions. Very good, student channel. And occurrence of such events and conditions that may cause an entity to continue as a going concern. Ma'am, it's frozen. What's frozen, beta? Yeah, we shall meet 10 at 10 only. There's some error. We'll begin with question number 6 only at 10. All right. And to end the class, you can join Unacademy using my code Sukriti. There is a discount offer going on where you can avail 25% of the discount and you can use my code Sukriti. We'll meet at 10. Okay, beta? Thank you so much for joining. We'll meet at 10 now. Thank